What's growing on, gardeners? Today I'm going to be filling my raised garden bed with weeds. It's not as crazy as it sounds, and I'm going to show you exactly why right now.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out my Amazon store and Spreadshop links in the video description for everything I use in my garden and awesome custom apparel and gear.
We often think of weeds as harmful, but all a weed really is an unwanted plant. For example, if you let some of your old fallen tomatoes sit and rot on the ground and 100 volunteer tomato plants germinate in the spring, and you want to keep 3 of them and rip out the other 97, well, 97 of those tomato plants were weeds. We often don't think of vegetables as weeds, but if they self-seed and more come up than you actually want, then any of them that you remove are weeds. So technically, there is nothing inherently wrong with a weed. Weeds are technically just as good of an addition to your compost as any cuttings, prunings, kitchen scraps, or fallen leaves and grass clippings. They are chock full of all of the nutrients it takes for a plant to grow. So by composting your weeds, you are taking advantage of completely free ways to make your soil healthier. I am midway through a major garden overhaul. I am ripping out some of my old raised beds and I am double stacking them to make my existing raised garden beds deeper. This is going to have huge benefits. I'm not going to have to bend down as far to work in my garden. My vegetables are going to have more soil to grow in and develop stronger roots as a result, and the plants in taller beds are actually less susceptible to cold damage because cold air sinks and settles along the ground. I'm already noticing that the winter vegetables inside my taller beds are dramatically outperforming the same plants in my original shallower beds in the cold weather. But there is a problem. Taller raised garden beds like this one are more expensive to fill because you need more soil. One common trick that gardeners do to reduce the cost to fill their beds is to fill the bottom 6 to 12 inches of these tall beds with sticks and logs, often called hugelkultur. The theory is that the sticks and the logs will take years to decompose, and during this time, as your plants grow, the roots will grow down and access this wood layer. The decomposing wood will retain moisture longer and slowly leach nutrients into the soil. So the end result will be you will need to water these deep-rooted plants in your garden beds less often. But I cannot do that in my situation. Because I'm stacking my old raised beds on top of existing raised beds, the bottom half is already full of soil. I need to transfer this old soil into the remaining space in the new deeper bed. And if I were to put sticks and logs in between the 2 layers, I would be basically creating an ice cream sandwich full of debris in the middle, and I just can't do that. This is where I will be using weeds to my advantage. I went around my yard and I pulled as many weeds as I could find, and I filled up this 5-gallon bucket that you see right here with all of the weeds. I will be dumping these weeds as well as these kitchen scraps that I just collected over the course of the entire week on top of the first layer of the raised garden bed soil on the original garden bed. Then I will transfer all of that soil from the bed that I just pulled out and stacked on top of it. So in the ice cream sandwich I will be making, there will be weeds and kitchen scraps in the middle. Now, while it would be bad to fill that ice cream sandwich layer full of sticks and logs, filling it with old weeds and kitchen scraps is a great idea. In fact, I have already started the process. I have been tossing old plants, weeds, and other green material on top of the old soil in anticipation of this. Here is why this is okay to do. These weeds and kitchen scraps are effectively just green material, sort of like tossing fresh cut grass clippings on top of the soil. Unlike sticks and logs, once buried, this green material will break down in only a matter of months. I've run this experiment in previous years, and in a mere 60 days, kitchen scraps fully decompose when buried under about 6 to 8 inches of soil. So I will be enriching my soil with all of the organic matter, nitrogen, and trace minerals inside the weeds and kitchen scraps with no downsides. Even if the weeds somehow contain some residual weed seed, it wouldn't matter, because they will be buried so deeply that the seeds could not germinate and they will suffocate and rot. So if you are looking for a great use of weeds, bury them deeply in your soil and take advantage of the composting process. Now, that being said, not everything is appropriate to bury in your garden soil. Some things can germinate or sprout when buried 6 to 8 inches deep. Things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, and clumps of weeds and grasses that spread through stolons or rhizomes like Bermuda grass and zoysia grass could still sprout underground and make their way to the surface. So for this reason, I made sure not to collect any potato peels. I'm not burying any of my old sweet potato vines, and I made sure that the weeds that I did pull were not invasive spreading grasses. So please keep that in mind. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to start scattering all of these weeds that I collected on top of the first layer of the garden soil, and they will effectively get sandwiched between the second layer of garden soil that I'm going to put on top of it, and that will effectively snuff out any weeds that try to grow. I'll do my best to scatter things as good as possible, and then I'm going to follow up and do the exact same thing with all of the kitchen scraps I've collected over the past few days. And this is what everything looks like after all of the weeds and the kitchen scraps have been scattered. All of those are going to break down underneath that layer of soil that I'm going to put on top, and they will release all of the nutrients that the plants can access later. Now that I have dumped all of the weeds and kitchen scraps on top of the first layer of my garden soil, I am going to transfer the soil from the other raised bed into the new raised bed. I will let this soil sit for the next month to be exposed to rain, wind, sun, and freezing temperatures, which will help the soil settle and collapse any air pockets that may exist. Today is January 7th, and this raised bed will be ready for planting sometime in February, although I probably won't move my first transplants into this bed until it starts warming up around March 1st. And here is where the garden soil used to be in my old raised bed. It has been transferred to the new raised bed, and now I have a double stacked, double depth raised bed. Now, one thing you may notice is that the raised bed is a little bit shallow, and that's kind of to be expected. So I will probably have to add about a bag or two, maybe 3 bags of compost to it, especially once the raised bed settles a little bit. It'll probably be 2 or 3 inches low, but that is no big deal. And now we have a brand new, super deep raised bed to plant in. And all of the weeds and kitchen scraps that I buried underneath all of that garden soil are going to decompose, and the nutrients will be available to the plants that I plant out in this raised bed probably in about 2 months or so. So this is a great way to repurpose weeds that you thought were harmful to your yard. Well, you can harvest those nutrients and add them to the garden soil to actually make your garden stronger. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and please ring that notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. If you're curious about any of the products that I use in real life in my garden, they are all linked down below in my Amazon storefront in the video description. So expand the video description, click on the Amazon storefront link, and you'll see everything I use in real life. And while you're down there, please check out my spread shop for custom merch if you want to support my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see all of you again on the next video.
Dale, guess what? Today is your gotcha day. It is the 5th year that you have graced us with your presence. What do you think about that? Are you excited? Are you excited that we have had 5 wonderful years with our most handsomest best boy? Because we are. What do you think about that, sweetheart? There must be something that Dale wants. He's huffing and puffing, which means he wants something. Dale, what do you want on your... What do you want on your gotcha day? You want belly rubs? You want belly rubs? We'll give you belly rubs, buddy. This is your special day. So you get anything you want as long as it doesn't have chocolate in it. All right, we'll scratch your paw. We'll scratch Dale's paw on his 5th gotcha day.